On the streets of Valencia, and it's the start of December and one of the closes of a big
year of athletics, of marathon running, and we're looking for some very fast times today, Richard, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to be talking quite a lot about the attack on the course record. I think what is interesting for me is that today we've got some highly experienced runners, particularly the Ethiopian runners who are coming back here to run again. Sise Lema, defending champion, and Kenenisa Bekele probably at the top of that list. But alongside these experienced marathon runners, we've got 4 or 5 very interesting debutants who have established themselves at the shorter distances over 10k and half marathon. And those, particularly the Kenyan debutants, are going to form a fascinating battle between the newcomers, so to speak, and the more experienced marathon runners. I was actually looking, James, that the top 4 Ethiopians have run 70 marathons between them, whereas they're up against these 4 complete newcomers at the marathon, but with incredible records behind them over the shorter distances.
So you might have seen on the left-hand side, the hemispheric, that's what we're looking out from our commentary box here, and it's just an amazing sight, the aerial shots. The thousands of runners, many will be running for charities, many running for their own personal goals, their own personal aims. So up front we'll have some pacemakers that are going to be setting out, looking at around about 61 minutes through the half. Last year's half marathon split was brisk. They went through that halfway point in 60 minutes and 35 seconds. So runner with the bib 394. Then is Vincent Nanego, so a 61 earlier this year. But some of these athletes, he's pretty much an out-and-out pacemaker, isn't he, Richard? Some of these athletes that they make a career out of setting the pace, and it's for them to be so trusted in the early stages. Samuel Mali is another one up there that he's a world medalist himself, and that's the quality of pacemakers that are needed to be at the front to run that 61-minute half marathon split.
Yeah, incredibly fast pace. 61 minutes is what they've asked for, and yeah, we can see that the red vests on the right and left of the screen, 391, 394, and also in the middle, 393. Those are the 3 pacemakers, and Kenenisa Bekele has gone out very fast. In the press conference 2 days ago, he was saying that he wasn't in peak shape, but he's clearly decided he's going to sit right on the back of that front 3 group.
In the middle of that group is the third of the pacers in the NN singlet, that's Eric Sang. So we 7th place in Amsterdam just a few weeks ago, 2:07:50. It's a sub 60-minute half marathon runner as well. But as you say, Kenenisa Bekele, at the age of 42, he's the world masters record holder, but he said he's not done yet. And every time we write him off, every time we think he's not in shape, he comes back again. But it's a tall, tough order today, just given the quality of runners. And the leading women, we will try and pick them up as they go, because the sheer number, the sheer volume of runners around them, they're going to be very good. Almost don't want to call them club runners, the pace that they might have to be running to be thereabouts the lead female runners. There could be some national records set in the male division around the lead women, Richard.
Yeah, I think there we see on the right of the screen Mageto Alamu. She is the leading female, and it's going to be interesting to see whether any of the other women are going to try to go with her. I think just behind her at the moment is another Ethiopian, Tiruyu Mesfin, in the white and orange of the NN kit. But Mageto Alamu, she's got the best time, 2:16:34, and has been so consistent over the last 2 to 3 years. And so she is probably the standout favourite in the women's race. And we were hearing that she's going to attack that course record, 2:14:58, set by her compatriot Amana Bariso 2 years ago.
Yeah, Alamu's record is just phenomenal. Top three finishes in London. So she's really looking for that big marathon victory, and that personal best 2:16:34 set in London this year. And that's the depth of women's marathon running right now. And
it is moving on week by week. But there were some talks yesterday about Alamu pacer, having a personal pacer going at 2:14, and this morning word on the grapevine that she could be looking at 2:12, Richard. So that really would be some fast early splits, and that really would smash a few minutes off the course record.
Yeah, I think when Tigges Dassersford set the world record 14 months ago in Berlin, 2:11:53, I think it really started to get people to rethink the way marathon running was going to be run, particularly on the women's side. Of course, that world record has since been surpassed by Ruth and Chippengate's incredible time in Chicago just 2 months ago, 2:09:56, the world record now. But yes, over the last 12 months and more, so many female athletes and their coaches have had to really rethink what their goals are, and I think Megatu Alamu falls into that group with the best time 2:16:34, and that's why she's now starting to talk about times of around 2:12, 2:14.
So on the screen in front of Sebastian Sare is the athlete to look out for today. Outstanding half marathon runner. He knows Valencia very well. Second place in the half marathon behind that world record of Kajelcha just a few weeks ago, but making his debut today. We've said it previously, Richard, just because you're a great or world-class half marathon runner doesn't mean the step up is easy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't necessarily happen automatically.
Yeah, I think why a lot of people are talking up Sebastian Sare's chances are because he is coached by the great Claudio Berardelli, who has coached so many great runners to big marathon wins. He looks after Evans Chibet, Benson Kipruto, Amos Kipruto. All of them have won big marathon majors in the last few years, and Claudio himself has been saying that Sebastian's preparation for this race has gone to plan. So Claudio knows exactly what good shape means, and we are expecting good things from Sebastian, although we have to say, because it's his first marathon, he'll be going into the unknown once he goes past the halfway point.
Check it there on the screen, 2:07 lifetime best. So they're chasing this Spanish national record. On the back of that group is Carlos Mayo. Again, another athlete that's making their marathon debut. Sub 60 minutes for the half. Just a little shove on the athlete in front. Just a reminder just to stay concentrated. It's a fast pace each of these groups are setting out, and it's about settling down into the pace in these early stages. Goletev is the athlete wearing 4 in that green singlet, just behind the pacemakers. And a look over his shoulder, 5th in the Olympic Games, just 31 seconds off a medal, just behind Britain's Emile Caresse. What a run by the British athlete. Winning in Seville, very impressively, 2:03. He's someone that comes into this with real full and probably looking to make another jump.
Yeah, we were in Seville 10 months ago when he made that massive breakthrough to win the race in a course record in Seville, 2:03:27. I mean, he's experienced the marathon. He's run 16 marathons already. This is the Ethiopian in the green vest, just behind the pacemakers, Deresa Geleta. But as you were saying, James, both his win in Seville in February of this year and then his 5th place in Paris in the Olympics has really given him that confidence. Interestingly, he's also coached by Haji Agilo. Haji coaching both Deresa Geleta and the leading female, Megatu Alamu.
And it's going to be interesting to see for some of these runners that did run on that very tough Paris course in August. The recovery, it was brutal, wasn't it? That big climb, as the right hand of our split screen shows the next wave of runners. That's what's needed to get the sheer numbers, the sheer volume of runners here. Just under 26,000 12 months ago, but 35,000 entries this year. There was a real buzz around the city, wasn't there, Richard, when we were walking around yesterday, and even on our jog on the park, there was just so many runners out so many people that have said have travelled here to be part of this experience, and it really is one that is just growing year by year. Not just European athletes, but people travelling. Tourism in marathon is such a popular thing right now. The climate is just so conducive, Richard, and the pancake flat course.
Yeah, we've been here quite a few years now, James, and we've had great weather every year, and this weekend is no exception. 12 degrees, no wind, so it's very, very good for marathon running. And I think also, as you're saying, that the size of the city is such that there is this sense that the whole city is taken over by the marathon. It's not a huge city, and so many of the hotels are filled with marathon runners this weekend. Actually, my flight over here a few days ago, it was full of marathon runners, very obviously, getting off the plane and heading to the expo to collect their race number. And that's why there is this great atmosphere of excitement and anticipation throughout the weekend. And I think now we've got the second wave underway. I think there are 6 waves of runners that will see all 30,000 runners get off the start. But we're looking at on the left-hand side, the leading women, and Turiya Mesvin. She is right on the shoulder of her compatriot Megetu Alamu.
Yeah, such an important point, Richard, about the hotels being full, and again, you know, the importance or the support of the race to the city to help rebuild, and obviously the local boost to the tourism of the city, everything in the surrounding areas as well. So our hotel was super busy of runners, especially during breakfast as well. Bumped into Paul Graham, who his wife Clara Evans, both from the Ponty Rodents. They'll be looking for individual times themselves, but I think Clara, one of the Brits, will be chasing that world qualifying time, 2:23:30. She had a late call-up for those Olympic Games in Paris, so look out for the Welsh lady chasing that fast marathon standard for Tokyo. But talking about fast times, our 3 pacers on the front that have that job. Malu, there you go, Sang. So shoulder to shoulder, we go back to the back of the group. The Professor Simbasa, 2:10:34. Decorated athlete. He'll be looking to smash that in that group. There's such a large number of athletes. This looks about the 2:06 group, Richard, running around, I think, a 63 half split, and a lot have chosen to go with this pace, which is the World Championship qualifying time.
Yeah, I did see Carlos Mayo there, one of the leading Spanish athletes. I mean, there were quite a few Spanish athletes. We've mentioned Ibrahim Chakir. He ran his best time here 12 months ago, and also Carlos Mayo. So they're targeting that 2:06. I think their pace is actually 62:30, so targeting actually a little bit faster, but 2:06:30 being the World Championship qualifying time for Tokyo next year.
Cesar Lema was such a dominant figure 12 months ago, winning by 83 seconds, then going on to take the Boston title as well. He's not quite had the build-up as he would have hoped to defend this title, because he ran so well, you know, to close in such a hard way last year.
Yes, Cesar Lema obviously struggled with injury through the summer and actually had to give up his Olympic place for Paris, and then that's why Tamrat Tola was brought in, and with Tamrat eventually winning the gold medal. So there's a nice picture on the left of the screen of number 1, Cesar Lema, defending champion, who's come here hoping to repeat his victory, but